is it good for our economy for people to, well, I think it's me, not you. So just so I can rephrase your question, do I think that it's good for our economy that people out of necessity are becoming entrepreneurs? I think it's excellent for our economy. As you know, the recurring theme here is, you know, we didn't coordinate our speeches beforehand. The recurring theme is do something and not nothing. It's very, very important for you to constantly move forward and keep yourself busy. Now, whether that means working for free or volunteering or getting a job that pays you 500 euros or 1,000 euros or getting a job that's outside of your expectations or below the skills that you believe you possess, or do something. If you can't find a job, create one. You know, if you've made the decision that, you know what, I can't find a job in what I do, start your own business. There are opportunities. Those guys that I was talking to you before, that created Enermap, which is it's an online application. They made their way all the way to Silicon Valley, and they pitched their idea to SAP. They pitched their idea to Google. They failed. They have a cool story, fair enough, but they failed. But they haven't given up. And you know what? Whether it happens this year or next year, and if it doesn't happen at all with Enermap, they're gonna try something else. Successful people, you know, we look at these 1 in a million people that succeed, but it's not overnight success. It's these people trying every day. You know, he spoke before about J.K. Rowling. You know, 8 publishers turned her down. Okay, if I was a publisher, I feel very stupid right now. But you know, imagine if she gave up the first time.
As I mentioned before, referring to the review of the International Labour Organization, there is a review named Cyprus Jobs and Skills for Youth, and I mentioned several things that shows that young people in Cyprus do not start up their own businesses. Those 7 things are the lack of funds, skills, knowledge, experience, networking, information, and guidance. 3 of them, I mean skills, experience, and knowledge, are in your hands. You can work on it. You can expand your knowledge. You can search for opportunities to enrich your experiences, and you can search for trainings or youth exchanges or other programs to improve your skills, your leadership skills, your teamwork skills, and many others. So I think, as the Commissioner said, that in this situation there are many stakeholders. So you have to improve your part in this situation. So you need effort, and you have to work on it, and you have to be dedicated in this process. So this is my comment. I don't know if you have something else to.
To go to the way person than us and Mr. Marco. Why do they seem to be so optimistic? As a 17-year-old girl who is really anxious for what the future holds and always finds herself in a dilemma of either coming back to Cyprus after university or staying in a foreign country, I see little potential and in the wrong hands. Whenever we try as teenagers, we try to reach out to the authorities, it's a dead end. Therefore, could you please be more specific on the incentives and the potential that may attract a 24-year-old now to come back to Cyprus and practice what he likes in the limited Cyprus job market? Thank you.
All right. So just to rephrase your question, because it's quite long, I'll give the summary of it. So you would like to know what the incentive would be for someone to return back to Cyprus in this limited job market. Is that correct? Okay. I would put it to you this way. If I know that the majority of young people are demotivated or have given up, then and I was 24 years old, then I would come back because, based on the fact that because I'm not demotivated, I'm driven, because I would come back because these people are my competition. And if everyone else has given up, I need to push forward and I need to seize the opportunities when everyone else has given up. To continue on that, you know, there's not a lot of jobs. Everyone's talking about there's not a lot of jobs, there's not a lot of jobs, what are we gonna do, what are we gonna do? If you really think about it, you only need one job. And you know what, whether you know it or not, I take a look at CVs every single day. I've seen thousands of CVs. I've interviewed, I think, half of Cyprus. I've worked in Cyprus now for the past 5 years in HR. And there's a recurring theme. There's all these amazing CVs from the top universities, and none of them have volunteering on, or they don't have any part-time jobs. The fact that you're here right now is something additional. You know, you're a lot more competitive than everyone else that's in your age group that's at the beach right now. So it's one thing at a time, and you know, you don't need a lot. You need one job to start, and sometimes it's not even a job. To go back to what the commissioner was saying, I went to you know how competitive. Okay, right now it's competitive in Cyprus. Do you know how competitive it is in New York City? Do you know how competitive it is in London? And I worked in both places. I can tell you, it's really, really competitive. Really competitive. Do these people give up? No, they keep on moving. I'm here right now saying that I'm the head of HR at Ernst & Young, which is one of the biggest companies on the planet, but I went to New York, I was a waiter. Through my waiter job, I got a job at I got a volunteering position at a community services center. Through that, I got a job at an NGO. Through that, after that, I left and I went to the UK, and they said, oh, you worked in the US, and that assisted me in getting the job that I'm at right now. It's step by step. Don't look at the mountain and be like, oh my God, it's really, really high. Start walking the mountain, start climbing, and you'll see that, you know, every step you make, you'll be closer to the top.
Yes, but as you have said, you were both in New York and in London, and step by step, you succeeded. But in Cyprus, we don't have this competition, and therefore, it makes you feel like, okay, you're going to give up too because everyone does so. So, yeah, I think I didn't.
Yeah, but you should be motivated and driven by it. You know, if everyone around you is ready to give up, these are the people you're competing with for jobs.
Okay.
It's not about everything being perfect. Unfortunately, life, you know, that's fair enough. I didn't have these problems. I didn't have the problems that you're facing when I was your age, because I was, you know, it wasn't long ago. You know, I just want to clarify that. But you know, when I was your age, it was all about, okay, you know, graduate and you'll always have a job. You know, you'll always have a job no matter what you. And I used to. I apologize to the English speakers of this, but you know what I used to hear then was like, "Ah, bine, puta să nu vrezuia." That was it. That was the advice I was given. You know, but it's not enough anymore. But you know, in education, you know, if you don't open your mind, if you go to university and you're not taught how to think independently and deal with problems as they come, you know, it's just a piece of paper on the wall. You know, you go to university and you interact with people that are different from you and you exchange ideas and you find the problems that you face in life and you solve them. So don't worry, you're going to find the solution.
I hope one day I can be as optimistic as you are.
Yeah,
Please remind me your name.
Irene.
Irene.
Yes.
Irene, Winston Churchill said that I am optimistic because I don't have any other choice. I totally agree with you, and I strongly believe that progress is traced by small everyday acts. And you have to remember that every day you have to work for your progress, for your goals, for your dreams. And where there is a will, there is a way. I don't have any recipe to give you now, but the only recipe that I know is that you have to take all of those small everyday acts toward your progress.